At 1:23 a.m. on the 26th of April 1986, a routine safety test was being conducted in one of the Soviet Union's many nuclear power plants. A combination of design flaws and human error resulted in uncontrolled reaction conditions. Superheated water was instantly turned into steam, causing an explosion and a subsequent open-air graphite fire. The Chernobyl disaster had begun. It took 36 hours for Soviet officials to establish a 10-kilometer exclusion zone, which resulted in the rapid evacuation of almost 50,000 people from the nearest population center, Pripyat. Cleanup teams, given the sickeningly euphemistic moniker of liquidators, worked tirelessly to rid the area of radioactive debris. Nearly 250,000 men worked shifts of only 90 seconds. Any longer, and they would be exposed to levels of radiation that would kill them in the most horrendous ways imaginable. Such levels of gamma radiation would cause cells to rot and decay from the inside out. Organs begin to liquefy internally, blood vessels rupture and spill open, rendering attempts to administer morphine completely useless. The afflicted would die in agony, their attendants unable to provide even the most minimal of relief. The following month, after a futile attempt controlling the catastrophe had already cost countless lives, a definitive solution was reached. The Soviets began work on designs for what they called Objekt Ukrytry, which literally translates to sheltering or covering in Russian, but what would forever be referred to as the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus was built to isolate almost 250 tons of devastatingly radioactive materials that would continue to endanger all forms of life for more than 250,000 years. At least, that's what the accepted truth of the matter is. The reality is much, much more terrifying. According to declassified documents obtained after the fall of the Soviet Union, the cleanup teams that initially worked on the decontamination process complained of encounters with anomalies during their work. These were initially dismissed as stress reactions after being exposed to abnormal amounts of radiation. But only when increased incidences of such anomalies were being reported and even confirmed by senior military officials were they taken seriously. What's more, encounters and sightings were beginning to be reported by civilians in the surrounding areas who hysterically called what they saw tinya, or shadows. Those that did not sign public statements declaring that they had nothing more than overactive imaginations were sent to the gulags on charges of treasonous statements. Yet, while the Soviets imprisoned people for their lies, they also sent in what were called animal control teams. None of Pripyat's pet dogs or cats could have survived a month in the zone, receiving fatal doses of gamma radiation, day after day, week after week. So, why were the animal control teams sent in? I know that the Chernobyl sarcophagus was constructed to contain something other than just the radiation. A month's worth of boric acid and sand drops did actually begin to see a reduction in the output of gamma rays. So many reports of what the documents only refer to as anomalies cannot simply be ignored. What I don't know is what exactly is being imprisoned inside that huge steel and concrete chamber known as a sarcophagus. But I do know, whatever it is, it terrified the Russians into silence, and when the American intelligence agencies found out what it was, they were complicit in the cover-up. As of April this year, The sarcophagus is undergoing testing of its installed systems. It was revealed that the water is leaking through the sarcophagus via holes in its roof. Rain-induced corrosion of supporting beams now threatens the structure's integrity. The sarcophagus is falling apart. I don't know what's trapped in there, but I have a feeling that I'm going to find out. We are all going to find out very, very soon. And it will be the end of us.